On Monday, President Donald Trump had joked about canceling the 2028 elections. Now, this conversation happened as Trump was meeting with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky, who was asked if he would be postponing the elections. Now, Zelensky explained that, hey, look, I can't hold elections right now because we are under siege by Russia. Okay. Now, that siege, of course, has disrupted day-to-day life and endangered their basic infrastructure. So he's like, I don't really feel like holding an election right now because we got some bigger problems here. And that's kind of why I'm here. But Trump, he hears that, and the light bulb goes off in his head, and he's like, cancel elections? Why not?
During the war, you can't have elections. So let me just say, 3.5 years from now, so you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the fake.
You like this idea?
No, this is like,
Oh, you like the sound of that? So, look, Zelensky, he's laughing, but probably after that meeting, he's like, what the hell? What? So here's the thing, though. Okay, if you could do that in this country, then why wouldn't have George W. Bush have done that to stay in power? Or, and this will really trigger the right. Obama. Obama. See, here's the thing about war. We have been at war for pretty much my entire life. I'm going to be 42 next month, okay? Now, how do we not know this? We have been personally insulated from war, unlike in Ukraine, okay? We're not having shells hit our cities, okay? That said, we are the one who's basically dropping ordnance all over the world, okay? In addition to being the biggest arms dealer on the entire planet. Okay? We're the weapons people. We're the ones selling you the guns. Okay? And then, if you don't buy them, dropping them on you. So that's a problem. So, look, there's knowing that as context, right? There is no way for Trump to cancel those elections. I mean, even that would not be acceptable to the majority of people. An OMAGA, of course, would be in favor of it. They're authoritarians. They're in a cult. But as cults go, they're relatively small, albeit very, very loud. Okay. Now, that said, on social media, these comments were met with concern. Okay. For example, Yvette Clarke, who's a representative from New York and the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, who said this: watch Trump fantasize about dragging America into a war as a pretense to cancel our elections. The room may have laughed, but he is not joking. He wants to be a forever dictator, just like his idol Putin. And he's going to feed his need for power, no matter how many Americans suffer along the way. Once again, we are at war. It's just not official. Okay? Look, Congress continues to pass the authorization of the use of military force. Okay? So that basically allows the president to go and do wars without having to officially declare war, which is what Congress's job is. Okay? So Congress has delegated that over the past 20-ish years to the president, more and more power to basically just go and bomb people without, and he can say, well, I'm not actually doing war, as he's dropping the mother of all bombs on Afghanistan. I mean, it's insanity. We bombed Iran. Okay, yes, we bombed Iran. And yet, he's like, oh, I'm stopping wars. See, that's what I'm doing. I'm the peace president. You should give me a Nobel frickin' Peace Prize. No, you are a warmongering fucking crook. You should be in the goddamn Hague. My God. And he's asking for, and Netanyahu wants to give him the Nobel Peace Prize. No, the people who came up with the Nobel Prize are probably spinning in their frickin' graves right now. All right, this warmongering prick, just disgusting. Now, Representative Adriano Espiliat replied, another New York Democrat, says the cost of war is serious and it is absolutely disgusting for Donald Trump to float the idea for his own personal political gain. Yeah. Historian Ruth Ben-Ghiat added, on brand and as forecast, when strong men go to war, then once at war, they may prolong the conflict to stay in power. Netanyahu is the most recent example and is a very, very good example. Remember, Netanyahu was facing corruption charges because he is corrupt. And so what did he do? He allied himself with the most bloodthirstiest members of the far right. And as a result, doing genocide in Gaza. Netanyahu would gladly sacrifice the 2 million Palestinians in that area to save himself. It's not even a question. It's not even a question. Of course. And Trump, he himself is on that same page. I'm pretty sure he would sacrifice just about anyone to protect himself. Look, I don't even know if Melania or Eric are safe. Okay, maybe Don Jr. is safe. And definitely Ivanka, because, you know, he would like to date his daughter. Hey, that's what he said. But Tiffany, I think you're fucked. Okay, sorry to say. Look, seriously, though, I don't think he's kidding either. I think he wants to do anything to stay in power and out of prison. And so that is very, very concerning. And I'm starting to believe, and I hope I am wrong about this, but I do believe that the only way that Trump might end up leaving the White House is feet first, or with a guarantee that he will never be held accountable for the myriad of crimes that he has committed and probably will commit over the next 3.5 years. The man knows he's a criminal. And so what do criminals do that get into power? They want to hold on to that power in order to protect themselves from being held accountable. Simple as that. All right. Now, more responses here. Brian J. Karam says, the only thing Trump cared about, a predicate for not giving up power. Gabby Stubbs says, it's a soft launch, not a joke. Agreed. Mikey Smith said, this is not the first time he's had this idea. And not the first time Republicans have floated this idea. Remember, Miami attempted to cancel their elections. This is the Miami City Council, which had voted 3-2 with the Republican mayor, Francis Suarez, signing off on an order to cancel the November elections and to delay them until 2026. It took a federal judge to push back on that. Miami-Dade County Circuit Judge Valerie R. Manouchur had ruled against Suarez, saying that the city did not have the authority to shift the elections without voter approval. So now, even though it was not successful, they are trying. They are trying to mess with the elections. They are trying to postpone them. They're trying to make sure they do everything they can to rig these next elections, 2026 and 2028. He's already talked about getting rid of mail-in ballots, which would, of course, massively disadvantage people. No, not just disadvantage, right? It would make it so that disabled people, for example, people in rural areas, people who are generally Democrats, and yes, maybe even his own voters, would be disenfranchised, would not be able to cast their ballots using mail-in ballots. Because there's a lot of people that cannot go in person. People, for example, who are concerned about COVID, which is still running rampant around the country. People who are disabled, people who have long COVID, can't sit there and wait in lines for in-person voting. Okay, all of those people are going to be negatively impacted. They're going to be left out of the political system as a result of getting rid of mail-in ballots. This is one of the ways, along with the gerrymandered maps in Texas and that are being promised in other red states, to try to rig the midterms and to rig voting so that Republicans will never, ever lose. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there saying, well, he can't actually do that. You think that stopped him before? There's a lot of things people said Trump, oh, he can't do that. And he fucking did it anyway. So this right here should be another gigantic flashing red sign that says Trump is going to try to eliminate elections, to get rid of them, so that he, since he is a dictator, is going to try and stay in power. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.